Good morning, guys. I'm Jane Joku, sneaker principal, and this morning I'm getting ready to go to the gym, making my coffee. This is part of my daily ritual, and I love making my coffee manually, except for one step. My coffee is usually, has been for stigmatic think organic coffee, so it's already grounded, already grounded when I get it. But the manual part of this is I don't have a coffee machine. What I do have is a electric kettle to boil my water. Then I have my paper filter and I'm not sure what this is called, but I'm assuming it's also a filter. It is a filter, a metal filter that you place over the cup, and then you put the paper filter because it makes it easier to clean rather than putting the grounds into the filter, the metal filter itself, which means you have to then wash it afterwards. You put the paper filter, run your hot water through it. It goes, the hot water, sucks the beautiful, delicious coffee juice out of the coffee grounds into the cup. Makes it easy to clean. The paper, I believe, is recycled. And then I'm not, going through various Keurig cups and things of that nature to make my coffee. It minimizes waste, but I think I just love the manual nature of just, making coffee and not just having a coffee machine, which I had for years. So I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't go back to it. And not only that, when I make my coffee, I'm making my coffee just for me, and I'm not having like extra coffee left over that I end up pouring out. So just being more economical and kinder to the planet. So my coffee is pretty much done. I have to. So you see right here, this is the metal piece right here through which filters the coffee. The paper's on top, so now just kind of like they dab into the cup and put this in the sink. So when I'm done, I will throw out the filter, the paper filter, and then rinse out the metal tray, the main metal filter. I'm going to figure out the name of these things at some point in time. I want to make a quick video this morning before I head out to the gym. I'm doing something that I haven't done before, and it's probably not typical for people to make videos like this. But I'm making a video about making sure to take time out to take care of yourself. Many of you know that because I shared this on social media, that my father passed away a month ago, and his funeral was this past weekend, and I had been dreading this day for a long time because the last time that someone this close to me passed away was when my uncle died, and that took a lot out of me because my uncle had been, for the most part, at least the way I saw the world, more of a father to me than my father was, if that makes any sense. My earliest memory as a child was of my uncle, and then just growing up, he was just such an amazing human being, and he always was there, no matter what I was going through. Hard times with my own father, he was always there. He's my mother's immediate older brother. So when he passed away, that was my first funeral I had ever been to. I want to say this is 22 years ago, so I was 26 years old. That was my first funeral that I had ever attended. My first viewing of a person in a coffin in person. I had never, ever to that point in time. I mean, I've seen cadavers at school and things like that, but I'd never actually been to a funeral. And maybe it might have been a phobia of mine, but I just never had. So so that was my first time. And I'll be honest with you, seeing someone that you love so much in that state devastated me. I don't think I'd ever cried that hard and with that much pain. So having that been, and then I was also a pallbearer. So having been my first experience was devastating. I mean, since then I have been to funerals. I've been to quite a few former students, colleagues, parents of friends of mine, as well as friends, and it's never easier, but it wasn't as traumatic as my experience with my uncle. But for the past couple of years, my father had been sick, and had been going through a lot of transitions, health-wise, and it's one of those things where I just knew it was inevitable that would be at that point of his passing and his burial and his funeral and all these different things, and that in itself, that realization and that preparation for in the best of my abilities for that coming events has been hard. Oh my God, I left my coffee in the morning. Had been hard because I also knew what that came with. Being the oldest son, this being my father, our families being Nigerian, being Igbo, and all the things that would come out of this. The cultural expectations, the rights and privileges, the exchanging of the guard, all these things culturally that I knew was going to happen. That took so much. It didn't take so much. It put so much stress on mental anguish, because it's like, how do you now step into this role? How do you address these things that you know that are coming? And it had been like this for almost 6 years, just knowing something was going to happen. And it finally did happen. And this past weekend, it was a funeral, and it was tough. It was really, really tough. I saw the pain of my siblings, my stepmother, even my mother, and everyone who was there, and man, even my father's cousins, because these were his brothers. In Igbo culture, you don't have cousins. Your cousins are your siblings. Your parents' siblings' children are your brothers and sisters. It's all the same blood. This is how it's seen. And my dad's cousins were there, and these were men that he had grown up with. They had been children together. They had played and had slept in the same bed and they ate together. Like they'd only known each other as as siblings. And to see them there, broken in tears and the pain, but also know that, just being realistic, such experiences calls your own mortality into question. Like, what does this mean for me? If these people that are close to me are transitioning, then what does that mean for me in my life? And no one really talks about that, but that's something that we all, talk to ourselves about silently, whispers. And so I saw that pain too. But back to my original point. This has been something that has just pretty much taken over my brain and my mind. And my thought process had been to just work through it, literally work through it, get back to work and get back to the grind. And I did that the first day, and even though I knew I was fine, I also knew I was not fine. I needed to just step away and be in my own cave, in my own mental space, in my own physical space and just decompress, release, mourn, because I don't know if I've mourned yet, and just be. Too often we put ourselves in a position where we just kind of like fight through and just keep going, and we don't stop. We don't stop to just breathe, and I'm working on that, stopping to breathe. One of the hardest things as a leader is that you're expected to be the pinnacle of just everything being put together, being stoic and nothing phases you, because at the end of the day, your job is to get the job done. That's pretty much it, right? And you don't ever stop to just say, you know what, I'm not okay, and I need to step to the sideline and just recompose myself. And that's something that I'm working on. And because I'm not perfect, contrary to popular belief, I don't believe I'm perfect. I know I'm not perfect. And I really want you as my colleagues to get better at that. I'm not talking about vacations. I'm not talking about mental health days. I'm talking about being able to step to the sideline, let your team, your assistant principals, your deans, whoever, whatever the composition of your team, leadership team is, know that you need to step to the side and just gather yourself so you can come back on with a clear mind and a renewed focus on whatever the mission is. Yeah. And the thing is, it's not just about people passing. It could be something as simple as, bringing new life to the world. Sometimes we, especially men, because the expectation is that we just keep grinding through. And that's not a healthy perspective to take. You got to step to the side and take your breath. You got to take time to just recompose and gather yourself. I'm just going to keep repeating that. Take time to step to the side, recompose, and gather yourself. Because at the end of the day, it makes you better for you, for your team, for the people around you, and the people who depend on you. But yeah. So in closing, I want to say thank you for all the well wishes and the condolences. It's been very important to know that there are people out there who see and know what this is like, and have been sharing their love with me. And I appreciate that. I appreciate it. My family appreciates it. And, sorry about that. Air freshener. And yeah, and with that being said, have an amazing day. I'm going to head out to the gym, and I'll talk to you all soon. All right? Peace.